Hi, how are you? This is Luke Smith from Waves Audio, and we're at the Waves DigiGrid booth here at NAMM 2016. So thanks for stopping by. I want to show you guys the new plugins that Waves is coming out with this year. First off, we have the Greg Wells plugins, and this is the latest artist signature bundle that Waves is making. These are actually out now, so we do encourage you after this video to check out the 7-day demo on waves.com and see if you like them. Listen to them in your own listening environment. But there are some very powerful plugins that could not be easier to use, as you guys can see very clearly. We only have a couple of big knobs here. So like all of the artist signature plugins, we asked Greg Wells, who by the way is a very famous songwriter, producer working with Adele, Katy Perry. He has amazing sounding music, so we really trust the way he mixes, his process, and most importantly his ears. And so again, with just like all the other artist signature plugins, we asked him to go into his studio and wire up his signal path for any certain type of instrument. And then we model that and we build it into the plugin in a very easy GUI. So over here with the vocals, we can start with the voice-centric plugin. And the knob, really, as you turn it up, goes through more of the processors that Greg likes to use in his vocal signal chain. So as I'm at 0 to 25%, I'm only really going through the first processor, which might be some EQ. Then I get to the 50%, now I have EQ plus harmonic saturation. And then I get to 50 to 75, and now I've got some heavy compression as well. And when I get to all the way to the 100, now I'm going through the entire signal path, pretty heavily processed, but still sounds great because Greg Wells made it. And then after that, we have the delay, a doubler, and a reverb, so some nice time phase effects that you can put in after this dry effect knob here. And you know, delay times fixed, reverb times fixed, because they're synced to the DAW most of the times, and because Greg likes them that way. There you have it. Easy. That's the point. With the mix-centric plugin, we have that over here. Sorry, we got this one. Same concept as the vocal plugin. As you put the knob up, you start to go through the signal path, and you have less processing, more processing, more processing, and then pretty extreme processing here. But the mix bus, even all the way up, still sounds pretty good, and you know, we don't get too much pumping, and again, it's just making the whole mix sound a little bit better. So with the piano one, it's a little different than the voice-centric and the mix-centric plugin, because you actually start at 0. And basically this way, to the left is lo-fi, to the right is hi-fi. And so what I notice happening as I turn it left is that it's getting darker. Also, the stereo image starts to shrink up to mono. Some extra filtering stuff happens, and it gets to an interesting lo-fi sound. And then I go past 0, and I go all the way up, and then I hear the stereo image widen. I hear more brighter sound, and it turns into a beautiful open baby grand. So with this one plugin, you can basically transform your piano into sounding like some little toy to a beautiful grand. All right? And then again, just in case you need it, a couple of time-based effects after this guy. So those are the new Greg Wells plugins. There'll be some more added to the line down the road, but we already have these 3 available, so do check them out really fast, all right? Now, we also have a new plugin coming to the Abbey Road bundle, and that's this. So the Abbey Road bundle currently has the RS56 passive mastering equalizer. It has the red console. It has the EMI TG channel strip. We have the King's microphone in there. We have the J37 tape machine. So we have a lot of, and we also have the Real ADT artificial double tracker. So it's already a great plugin bundle, and we wanted to add this to it to make it even better. And the plates is something we've been working on for a very long time. And actually, I do believe that I have, no. We have basically modeled all 4 EMT plates that they have available in their control rooms. And so Abbey Road did use EMT metal, but then after that we know the Abbey Road technicians have always liked to customize stuff. They customized the amps, and they built a custom controller so that you could literally very easy from the control room switch between different plates entirely. And so that's what this plate selector is. So those are 4 completely different plate settings, right? And the damper settings we set to 11 different notches. So it definitely does change the reverb delay or decay time, right? The tail time. But we noticed when we modeled it that each damper setting also changed pretty much every characteristic of the reverb sound. So don't think of the damper settings as just a tail time. You're really getting 11 different reverb sounds with each setting. And then you have a treble, either boost or cut, and then you have bass cut. They can go up to, I think, 120, 80, and 40 are the settings. And then you have pre-delay, dry wet, drive, which allows you to purposefully overload the input of the reverb to get some cool distortion happening only on the return. And just like all of our other modeled plugins, we allow you to turn off the inherent noise floor of the amps, of the original plates, if you want to. So check that out when it comes out in just a couple of weeks, the Abbey Road plate. And then before you guys go, I also want to show you that we've been talking about this for a very long time, and we are on a system here that is using DigiGrid hardware with a Waves SoundGrid DSP engine, right? And we're using the iOS, IOC, and IOX as one big interface, and we all know that the iOS has DSP inside of it. And so here we're showing Studio Rack, not just using Waves plugins in SoundGrid mode, but also using the entire Plugin Alliance suite. So we now finally have some more third-party plugins available to run on our SoundGrid DSP platform. So we're very happy to announce Plugin Alliance being officially on board with us, and also, so you can see the Mag EQ, BX, here's the Alicia, and then we also have Flux on board as well. So there's their Elixir, and their entire suite of plugins will be available very soon in the SoundGrid format. So a lot of cool new stuff for Waves, and you'll see a lot of other plugins come out this year in addition to Abbey Road and Greg Wells and all that stuff. So keep an eye on Waves.
That's just the way it works. I don't